Control your emotional reactions with these 10 daily Stoic habits. Have you ever reacted in a way you instantly regretted? Snapping at someone, overthinking a setback, or letting anxiety ruin your day? What if you could change that? What if, instead of being ruled by emotions, you could control them? This video will show you exactly how to do that. For thousands of years, Stoic philosophers have taught practical habits that help us stay grounded, resilient, and emotionally balanced. And in today's chaotic, hyper-connected world, these timeless practices are more relevant than ever. In this video, you'll discover 10 powerful Stoic habits that, if practiced daily, can transform the way you handle emotional challenges. These are not abstract theories. They're actionable routines used by emperors, warriors, and thinkers, distilled into steps you can start using today. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to stay calm under pressure, find mental clarity during chaos, and live with emotional strength, no matter what life throws at you. Let's start with the first habit that sets the tone for your entire day. Habit 1. Morning reflection. Begin with clarity. How you start your morning shapes your entire day. The Stoics knew this, which is why morning reflection was a sacred part of their routine. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, began each day by reminding himself of the challenges ahead. Today, he wrote, I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation. By acknowledging reality up front, you remove the element of surprise. You become mentally armored. Try this. Each morning, take 5 quiet minutes. Ask yourself, what kind of day will this be? What emotions might I face? How do I want to respond? This habit doesn't just center your thoughts, it empowers your actions. You shift from reactivity to intentionality. And that small shift can change everything. Habit 2. Journaling. Unload your mind. Your mind is not a storage unit. It's a processing engine. Stoic journaling is about freeing your mental RAM, analyzing your thoughts, and clarifying what matters. Seneca journaled about his mistakes. Epictetus urged his students to examine their responses to daily events. Why? Because reflection turns experience into wisdom. Journaling isn't about writing a novel. It's a 3-minute brain dump. What bothered me today? Why did I react this way? What lesson can I learn? This habit helps you spot patterns, like repeated frustrations or emotional triggers, and gradually weaken their control over you. The page becomes a mirror, showing you the gap between how you reacted and how you want to react. Over time, you'll become more self-aware, emotionally intelligent, and grounded. Habit 3. Practicing premeditatio malorum. Anticipate adversity. The Stoics practiced something called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. It sounds dark, but it's a tool for building resilience. Before any major event, whether a meeting, a trip, or even a conversation, they would ask, what could go wrong? Not as a way to dwell in fear, but to prepare. When you imagine setbacks ahead of time, you strip them of their power. You rehearse calmness. You build inner readiness. Let's say you are heading into a tense meeting. You mentally walk through possible scenarios. What if they disagree? What if I feel attacked? How will I maintain composure? Now, if that actually happens, you're not surprised. You're equipped. This habit rewires your nervous system. You train your mind to expect discomfort without being hijacked by it. That's true emotional control. Habit 4. Voluntary discomfort. Build mental toughness. Comfort is a silent killer of resilience. The Stoics believed that exposing yourself to voluntary discomfort strengthens your mind and spirit. Seneca would sleep on the floor, fast, or wear plain clothes, not because he had to, but to remind himself, I can handle less. Why does this matter today? Because modern life is built around convenience. But when things go wrong, and they will, we're caught off guard. Practice small challenges. Take cold showers, skip a meal, walk instead of drive. These aren't punishments, they're training. You're telling your brain, discomfort is not a threat. Over time, your tolerance for stress increases. You become less emotionally reactive when real adversity hits. This habit builds inner strength, not just toughness, but calm confidence. And that's a superpower in today's reactive world. Habit 5. Focus on what you can control. The dichotomy of control. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus taught that some things are up to us and some things are not. Peace begins when you stop trying to control what you can't. Your thoughts, actions, and choices, that's your domain. Other people's opinions, the economy, the weather, that's outside your control. Yet how often do we stress over the latter? We obsess over outcomes, worry about others' reactions, or get angry at things we can't change. The Stoic habit is to ask, in every moment of stress, is this within my control? If not, let it go. If yes, focus fully on your response. This isn't passive, it's powerful. It allows you to redirect your energy toward what actually matters. Your effort, your attitude, your behavior. This shift creates emotional clarity. You no longer waste time trying to control the uncontrollable. Habit 6. Practicing silence. Master your responses. Not every emotion deserves a reaction. Not every thought needs to be spoken. The Stoics practiced silence, not as withdrawal, but as mastery. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, went years without speaking publicly. Why? To learn control. In today's world of instant replies and digital outrage, silence is radical. It gives you space to pause, reflect, and respond intentionally. When someone offends you, can you wait a moment before replying? When you feel triggered, can you sit with the feeling without acting on it? This habit rewires your impulse system. You train yourself not to be ruled by every spark of irritation or frustration. Silence creates emotional leverage. It gives you the upper hand, not over others, but over your own mind. Habit 7. Mindful breathing. Return to the present. The breath is the anchor of Stoic practice. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The breath is the bridge to that realization. When emotions surge, stress, anger, panic, your breath changes. You can't think clearly if your breathing is shallow and rapid. The habit? Pause. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Do this 3 times. It's deceptively simple, but in that moment, you reclaim control over your nervous system. You return to the present moment. You stop spiraling. Over time, this practice makes emotional regulation instinctual. You feel the storm inside, but you don't let it carry you away. Your breath becomes your emotional reset button. Habit 8. Evening reflection. Review without judgment. The Stoics ended their day the way they began, with reflection. Seneca would ask himself, what did I do well? What did I do poorly? What can I do better tomorrow? This wasn't self-criticism. It was self-correction. The goal isn't to dwell on your failures. It's to understand them, learn from them, and try again tomorrow with more awareness. This habit builds accountability without shame. You become your own mentor, compassionate but honest. Try this. Before bed, write down 3 things. 1 thing you handled well. 1 thing you could improve. 1 intention for tomorrow. This simple review builds momentum. You see yourself growing in real time. Emotional mastery is no longer a vague goal. It's a daily practice. Habit 9. Memento mori. Embrace the mortality mindset. Memento mori means remember you must die. At first glance, it seems morbid, but it's actually one of the most powerful emotional tools the Stoics used. Why? Because it shrinks problems down to size. When you remember that time is limited, you stop wasting it on petty drama, pointless arguments, or emotional overreactions. You realize what truly matters and what doesn't. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. This mindset shifts your emotional baseline. You become calmer, more focused, more intentional. Try this. Each morning, remind yourself, I will not live forever. Let me live today with purpose. It's not about fear, it's about freedom. When death is acknowledged, life becomes urgent, beautiful, clear. Habit 10. Practice gratitude. Find strength in what you have. Gratitude isn't just a feel-good idea. It's a Stoic tool for emotional resilience. Epictetus lost everything, his freedom, his body's health, but still said, I am grateful. Why? Because gratitude shifts your focus from lack to strength. When you focus on what you lack, you feel anxious, angry, and envious. When you appreciate what you have, you feel empowered. Each day, list 3 things you're grateful for. Not vague, abstract ideas, but specific, grounded truths. I'm grateful for a warm meal, for a friend's message, for my ability to think. This habit rewires your emotional lens. You stop reacting from scarcity and start living from sufficiency. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It acknowledges that even in struggle, there is still light. Conclusion. These 10 habits are not magical. They don't eliminate stress, erase pain, or guarantee happiness. What they do is something deeper. They give you back control. Control over your reactions. Control over your mind. Control over the one thing that truly belongs to you. Your character. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to practice. Every day in small moments you can choose. React emotionally or respond stoically. Let chaos pull you in or return to calm. Feel overwhelmed or grounded. Start with one habit, then another. Layer them like armor, and slowly, surely, you'll become unshakable. If this video helped you regain clarity and emotional strength, hit like and subscribe for more Stoic-inspired tools. Stay grounded, stay present, and remember, you are stronger than your emotions.